That's not Destin.
I know.
It's time for SideScrollers from ScrewAttack with your hosts, Stuttering Craig.
But part of the celebration is also playing Ultimate Party Challenge for the Wii and listening to the greatest hits from the early 1990s.
Chad.
Hey, Chad!
And Professional Jared.
Chad
And now, broadcasting from the World ScrewAttack headquarters in Dallas, Texas, it's the SideScrollers.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to SideScrollers on ScrewAttack.com. What's going on, everybody? Hi, I'm Stuttering Craig.
I'm Chad.
And I'm Professional Jared.
Going
I'm
to
so
kick into
used
things.
to Destin going.
It's so weird.
It is.
So weird. As you can see, we have
Not
Jared
Destin.
joining us this week.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
I'm good.
All right. Okay. So yes, we have a busy week this week as Jared is joining us. We have so much stuff to talk about. It's ridiculously crazy, including 100th episode of The Armory, which is on the site this past week.
Sweet.
We have a VGR on Knight's Contract coming up this week as well. Brian, how's that going?
It's getting there.
It's going well. Knight's Contract.
Poor
interesting.
Brian.
Also, the re-return of Reboot or Retro, the
Yeah.
reboot, you could say, of Reboot or Retro.
If you will.
Yes.
I've been working on the Hardcore Uprising for the new Contra, but not Contra game that Konami just released. I'm comparing that to the original Contra Hardcore on the Sega Genesis.
So that should be good. I'm looking forward to that. Also, how many lives? Speaking of Contra Hardcores, the Konami guys are going to love us because they're getting a lot of coverage of Contra Hardcores because it's a hard game, and we figured how many lives is a fun series everybody likes to see. So we're going to bring that back as well, and of course the return of What the Fuck Is That? So
It's been a
A
while.
lot of returns.
yes,
Yes.
Well, we got to just do some random awesomeness.
Yeah.
Love it. Love random awesomeness. Also, I did want to let everybody know that in addition to this week and next week, I'll be hosting here, but the following week, I'll actually be out because my jacked up nose that goes and is all crazy, I'm getting fixed. So
It's gonna be weird.
it is weird. No, okay, but hold on. Let me explain. This is not a nose job. This is not a nose job. This is so I can breathe. Craig can't breathe out of his jacked up nose, so Craig is going to be able to breathe. So that's good. Maybe
Yes.
maybe I'll get some pictures of me with my busted up
Do some
face.
before and
Yeah.
after kind of things.
Yeah.
Before, during, and after.
Yeah, definitely during because I'm supposed to.
I want to see. I want
totally-
to see you like right after your surgery. You're still like recovering, and you're just laying in bed, just
They said I'm not even going to remember the day of the surgery.
fantastic. I'm gonna say so many things to you.
Oh, good.
Hey, Craig, can I have a raise?
I'm gonna make you promise a lot of
You
things.
said yes.
and I'll record it.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
exactly.
Good.
I don't remember. Oh, that's okay.
So that's not next week, but the week after that, I will be out of commission for at least that show. We'll see. Apparently, I'm supposed to be bruised up for like 10 days. So all you who wanted to see me get my ass kicked, this is kind of like what would happen if I got my ass kicked. It would be great.
Using science.
Does that mean we get to put it up on the site?
No. All right. All right. Also, well, let's get into this now. I guess let's get into some segments with
Segments?
Destin, with his intro. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the paper world's favorite segment. It's time for
Hard news.
All the day's news from this past week. It's time for
That was pretty good.
that was
surprised.
not bad. Not bad at all. Hey, we did want to let you know that with Hard News this week, I'm going to be hosting Hard News. Only as a filler, though. Only as like the filler, because we are looking for a new host for Hard News. Or a new host, or whatever, or hosts, whatever it may be. But we've had a lot of response. A lot of people are like, hey, I want to host Hard News. I want to give you a try. So if you are interested in hosting Hard News, I am looking for hosts right now. I have some people in mind, but it never hurts to put it together on an audition tape. So if you have an idea, or if you want to put together an audition tape, by all means, put it as a video response to this week's Hard News episodes. Who knows?
It could be you.
Yes, Destin started with a freaking
Daily DL.
And it sucked so bad. Oh, it was terrible. Destin, if you're watching this, God, man.
He had a blanket behind him. It was great.
It's amazing.
But it's all about potential. Okay, Jared, what do we
So
got?
for Hard News on SideScrollers, I am going to follow Destin's suit and try to take some of the biggest stories from the previous week, and we're going to talk about them. Last week was the Game Developers Conference,
Right.
and a whole ton of big 3DS news came out of that. I don't know if you guys have kept up with this or not. A lot of things are going to be a lot of the features about the 3DS. First off, Nintendo is partnering with AT&T to provide hotspots all across the world so that people can just get their Nintendo DS online, whether it's at like McDonald's or malls or movie theaters, whatever. Along with that, Netflix, which Craig, I know you love.
I did hear about this.
Netflix is going to be available on your 3DS.
Now that's pretty wicked.
Plus, it can do 3D movies.
Exactly, which is the coolest thing about it, is that that's the thing that takes it to the next level above pretty much your iPhone or whatever else. You know, the ability to do your 3D trailers and movies and such. I think that's pretty wicked cool. And I know if you're already paying the $8-9 a month for Netflix, why not just hook it up to your 3DS and go crazy and experience the 3D movies? Because that's something I'm never going to do. I'm never going to buy a 3D TV unless I don't have glasses.
I agree.
So
I agree. Like, and be able to take your Netflix with you anywhere aside from just the phone. Like, I have like an Android phone, but I don't have Netflix on it. But I am getting the 3DS, and having that is awesome. Along with the announcement of Netflix and all that, they did announce that a Mario game is in development for the 3DS, which is not a surprise. But they showed the teaser image for it. And it was just called, you know, Super Mario Brothers for the 3DS, and at the end of the Mario logo was that little raccoon tail that we all know is familiar with Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to throw it out there. If you saw our top 10 games that need to be made, I'm just going to throw it out there. We suggested Super Mario Brothers 3 2. That was number 1 on the list.
That's
Super
right.
Mario Brothers 3 2. And they made a Mario. They made New Super Mario Brothers Wii, which was like this was kind of like the next generation, but they did not include the tail. And now they're including the tail. And this is. Did you see?
You got a helicopter suit.
Yeah, you got to exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this because I think the tail is what I think a lot of people think is the best power up from.
Oh yeah, it
from,
was revolutionary to fly around. Like, it changed the game.
Yeah, everyone loves the tail power up from Mario Brothers. So to bring it back and to do it in like a 3D function, to where the game looks like a Mario. It is a Mario Galaxy
that would be pretty
game.
crazy.
It's pretty. But then you're in space. How are you supposed to fly?
Stars
I'm just saying.
or something. They always use stars. Now, when I first saw the Mario 3DS images, my first concern was that instead of a brand new Mario 3 game, my first thought was, is this going to be just a 3D remake of Super Mario Brothers 3? And if that's the case, would you still be inclined to purchase it?
Yes.
a lot of the stuff on the 3DS is remakes, you know, like Star Fox, and then they're doing Ocarina of Time, and I know it's Master's Quest, but
exactly. Like, I know why they're going back to the raccoon tail, because it's Mario 3 DS. So it only makes sense that they're kind of, you know, feeding on our nostalgia again.
Hey, well, it sells, man.
It's
true.
and
plus, I mean, you know, the DS has a young audience. Like, I mean, yeah, all gamers, you know, play the DS and stuff like this, but generally, I mean, its core audience is younger gamers, and you know, a lot of them probably haven't played Mario 3.
Which is a shame.
Which is a shame, but this way, even if it's a remake, that'll give them a chance to experience it, which will be cool. So.
Let me go in a little. I bet they played Mario 3, but they haven't played Mario 3 on an NES. And it's totally different.
Yeah.
So we've talked about that before, the difference between emulation and actually playing it on NES.
Or even follow the tons of ports and remakes that they have.
It's a totally different experience. So.
All right, for the next story, going from the complete opposite direction of the 3DS, you guys know about Sony's NGP, their next generation portable and all that?
You can touch it on the back and it moves.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, one of the biggest game developers for like iPhones and kind of those app-style games called NG Moko has pretty much said that the NGP is going to be dead on arrival.
Yikes.
They are not even giving it a chance.
Damn.
Let's see. The exact quote from boss man Neil Young was saying, "I think they are hurt. I think they're clearly hurt. I think the PSP is done, and the new NGP is dead on arrival."
Ouch.
Yikes.
Now,
hey, they're still making PS2 games. We got one in today.
If the people who are developing games for this are thinking that it's done before it even shows up, and it might as well be. It might as well be the 3DO, you know what I mean? I mean, it's pointless.
well, look at it this way. Were you guys interested in the NGP at all?
Not really.
I don't know enough about it. I just know there's a crazy touchscreen behind it.
See, like I looked at it extensively, and I have a PSP, and I love my PSP for one sole reason, and that's the Monster Hunter series. Like, there's no other reason to me to actually have a PSP. And with the NGP, I saw the exact same thing as when the PSP first came out. all this technology, all these gadgets and gizmos, but the games just aren't going to be there. And I think the same problem that PSP's always had is that they never really made like handheld games. They made like console games
It's like a
for
portable-
your
yeah,
handheld,
exactly.
which that defeats the purpose of having a handheld. When I play my PSP, I'm playing it connected to my television at home, not out and about.
It's actually a really funny point. And
Yeah.
but the first time I saw a PSP, I was blown away by the graphics. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is incredible. And it looks like it's going to be the exact same way if they're playing, Uncharted and such on this in GP. So it's going to be really, really impressive. But it comes down to, I think, with your 3DS and your DS and your handheld games, that's right. They're perfect for, hanging out on commutes, from here to there or whatever. If you're in the car, you're on the train.
Yeah. Now, some of the developers did get a better idea of how to do like those kind of short, bite-sized game sessions later on in the PSP's life cycle, especially with like Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker was a really good example of like you can just do like very quick missions and then shut the system off and move on. But with the NGP, it's going to be the same cycle.
What was it, the Metal Gear Solid card game? Sorry.
No, the acid. No.
Dude, that pissed
but-
off so many people.
But it's funny because you mentioned like how the developers are kind of getting the idea of how to do it for the PSP, but the same developers are developing for the 3DS and the DS, so they clearly know how to do it. So is it Sony saying we want different games?
It very well could be. I mean, it was kind of the same thing when the PS3 first came out and Sony was forcing developers to put 6-axis controls into it. And look how awesome that worked out for them.
That's the first thing you look for in a 6-axis game is like, can I turn this off?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, what else?
All right, last story. Are you guys familiar with the game called We Dare from Ubisoft?
Yes.
This is the
Oh
porn
my
game,
God.
right?
Kind of. Well, if you don't know what We Dare is this sexy singles
It can't
game
be real, dude.
that it is very, very real. It's basically it's another mini game thing for couples to get together and
For boning.
They're very, very sexual in nature, and the best part about it is that when the game went to the ESRB, they rated it suitable for ages 12 and up.
Oh,
which
and
is
the
amazing.
Spanking game
Is
oh.
great. Now, obviously, this has gotten Ubisoft into some trouble to the point where they're practically ashamed about the whole thing.
Hold on.
They should be.
Well, okay, yes, I can understand being ashamed, but why are they getting in trouble when the ESRB is the people who rated it?
That's true.
Well, if there's like no nudity or anything like that, if it's all implied. But regardless, now the story itself is We Dare is not going to be coming to the United States at all.
We need to get it.
Yeah, we have to. It's going to be so awesome.
I don't want to play it with any of you. Like,
So it's not coming to the United States. The original trailer they had for it and commercial has been region locked, so that you can't watch it in certain parts of the world.
Oh.
And there was I believe a British newspaper had gotten wind of it and just started like trashing the heck out of it. The actual quote from the the Daily Mail, a British news corporation, was saying a new sexy party computer game has outraged parents with lurid adult content, which they will claim will encourage orgies and underage sex.
Wow. Okay, so
oh god.
you take a game that's jumped the ship with this whole sex thing,
Yeah.
and then you take a newspaper article which is all about sensationalism, and they totally jumped the shark.
Yeah.
Totally. So
the trailer has shown it like it's some very sad, pathetic adults playing the game
There's a
with each other.
stripping one.
Yeah, there's like a stripping and like sharing an apple, which like they just hold like the Wii remote between them.
Yeah,
and
and
like
like,
you both fake eat it, which from a gaming like mechanic standpoint, that doesn't work.
Okay,
You're just holding a remote down. If it sways a little back, who wins?
No.
Everybody.
Okay, so this is obviously going to be locked in the United States where we are. So if you are in Europe and you have this trailer, if you want to send us the file on ScrewAttack, you can actually go to ScrewAttack and upload it to the file. Send me or send any of us the link, and we'll download it so all the United States wonderful people can watch it on ScrewAttack.
We have to see this game.
It's horrible. I was freaked out enough just watching the adults play it.
Yeah.
I don't even.
It's so weird. It's just they're spanking and they're moving on.
Yeah.
We Dare. Don't buy it. All right, that's all I've got.
Or do you dare?
Pedophiles. You want to
Alright.
come over and play the Wii Kids?
Oh.
That's weird. Okay, so there you go. That is hard news for this week. Which times it's now time to move on to the middle segment. Now, as you recall, last week we talked about how we're going to have a big addition to the middle segment this week.
Huge.
And that is the topic wheel.
Oh yeah.
All right.
This thing is so cool.
So we're gonna have a stand for this thing eventually, but right now it's going to be me holding it up and Chad spinning it. As you can see, we have a number of different topics on the topic wheel, ranging from box art to Garch. Most of these have been suggested by the G1 community, and we're going to be spinning the wheel right now, Chad. Whatever it lands on, that's what we're going to go on. Let's go. Spin the big topic wheel!
It makes a really horrible sound, by the way.
Topic wheel this week is
Gamer Rage!
from Andre. What's that say?
Andre Nilsrud.
Nilsrod. All right, there you go, Andre. Gamer Rage.
Gamer
this week.
Rage.
All right.
All right.
Jared, what do we got?
I guess his question is going to be, have you guys ever been prone to like extreme raging while gaming, or have been around when someone else has gone through rage? And the kind of stories you have to share with that.
Okay, I've been around lots of people, specifically Destin.
Destin's hilarious.
Destin, if you ever get a chance to play games with Destin, he is quite
Do it.
possibly the funniest person ever to play video games with, because he gets so mad when playing video games. Like, you know, like the nerd, he'll be like, oh, fuck, and throw a controller or whatever. Destin, like, okay, with the nerd, that's an act. He's a character. Destin is the angry video game nerd in real life. It's pretty amazing. So, me per se, I've thrown controllers. I've been not happy at games, but I've never been to the point to where, okay, yeah, I have. I have rage quit. You know, especially like Call of Duty and such, or when you get a really laggy game, or you play. Yeah.
I'll
NBC
only
3
rage
and
quit when there's people clearly cheating and stuff like Call of Duty. Like, it's pretty abundantly clear that they're cheating. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm out of there. Not worth my time. So not so much rage, just
FPS
unfair.
and fighters are the only games that can get me pissed. But,
You get pissed.
yeah, I can get pissed. I haven't been as much lately, though. But, not so much FPS anymore, but fighters can get me.
You take fighting games very seriously.
I do.
Like, it's part of your pride.
I know. Well, the thing, like, I don't mind losing at all. Like, as long as, you know, really, as long as it's a good game, dude, like, I'll get really, really pumped. And, like, you know, like, I've played people, like, out at, like, SGC or, like, Akon, was in a tournament. And, like, it came down to, like, literally last round, like, last hit, and I lost. But I was like, jumping up and, like, high-five the dude, you know? As long as it's a good game. The only time I get really pissed off, I guess, is when, like, I screw up and, like, I meant to do something, but I fucked it up, and then I lost because of that, you know? And that's when I'm like, wow, that's what just infuriates me.
I think from my standpoint is, if I screw up, it's my fault, and I get mad, but you know, I've never really, you know, I take the consequences myself. You know, I lost, so.
I don't get mad at other people or anything like that. I just get pissed.
You get extremely pissed at yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, I'm not a very angry person in general. Like, I don't really get enraged or angry about anything. But there's only one game within like the past 10, 15 years that I can think of where I rage quit. And it sounds totally stupid, but it was Trauma Center, second opinion for the Wii.
Trauma Center?
Yes, that game
start stabbing.
is hard. I got to his mission where you basically need to take care of 4 patients right in a row. And I can do the first one, no problem. Second one, no problem. But the third one, where you have to do like this, you have to do like these weird like triangle disease, where you have to like remove these points at the triangles, but if you don't do it just right, they regenerate.
Wait, you rage quit on a Wii game?
Yes! It was difficult.
I just see him stabbing with like the scalpel.
I was doing so well up until that point, but to this day, I have not been able to pass that level. Like, I actually got so angry, I had to put the Wii remote and the nunchuck down and walk away. And I've never done that before in my entire life, but I was just getting that frustrated with that freaking patient.
For me,
That's awesome.
for me, when I rage quit or when I get pissed at games, it's not so much the game. It's more so most of the time it has to do with the multiplayer aspect. It has to do with the other person that I'm playing. That's most of the time.
Where they're just being a dick?
Yeah, where they're either just being a dick or they're really bad or they're ruining the game experience for me.
Yeah.
You know, like I think I'm pretty good at embracing the games and what every game has to offer, even bad ones. But I hate it when people just totally ruin what should be a fun, good experience, and so their e-penis can get big. So.
Yeah, dude, I had a friend back in the Halo 2 days. Like, we would play all the time, and that's when I would get pissed at FPSs. But like, I mean, clan matches, anything like that, it would just, if we lost, it wasn't fun. But
that's a great follow-up question. When you guys actually around like a friend or someone else who's currently going through the gamer rage, how do you guys react to that? Do you antagonize them?
No.
Or do you try to leave
I
it
always
alone?
do. Yeah, it's always the awkward, like, just be quiet. Like, just
Well, every day around 6 o'clock when you watch Street Fighter 3 Third Strike at the office, you see how we do. You see how we deal with it.
Yeah.
Shell'll be like, "God!" and we'll just be like,
Yeah.
just let him go. You know.
See now,
Or someone else will do it.
I'll actually try to like
But-
help them with their rage and see if I can't let them maybe win a little bit to see if it doesn't like help them feel better.
Okay.
Now, like, you know, there are some friends back home. Not going to name any names though, but John, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Like, we would have constant like Mario Kart tournaments and Smash Brothers, and we'd play all the time. And John, he'll go into a fit of rage pretty easily. We call it Brunage Rage. His last name was Brunage, and he raged.
I'm not gonna
pretty
name
easily.
any names, but here's his first and last name
Yeah.
and home address.
Great guy though. So like we were playing Mario Kart, whatever, and like if I'm beating him pretty bad and he's getting angry about it, I was like, oh, oops, I fell off a hole.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
But here's the problem with that is when you purposely suck, and you still do bad, and then you still win.
Well, that's just embarrassing for them.
Well, exactly. Then it just sends them off into a bigger rage.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there before. But here's the problem, Jared. You're showing mercy. And in video games, you don't show mercy.
I'm a nice person.
Listen, take the John Kreese rule of Karate Kid. You don't mercy's for the weak.
Put him in a body bag.
That was the next thing. You put them in a body bag after you bury them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or before you, whatever. One of the two. So,
Dude,
anyways.
in terms of rage, like I was saying, I had a friend before you jacked my story.
Sorry.
No, he used to work at Best Buy, so this was during the Halo 2 days, and like, he took Halo 2 very, very seriously. We all did, but like, it was very seriously. Well, he worked at Best Buy, so he had a replacement plan on his controller. So like, dude, that controller went everywhere around the room. I don't even know how many times he replaced it. One time, hit the door so hard that the door split. Like, yeah, it was
door?
Like
the door split. Like, not like a hole through the door, but like on the side of the door, like where it would close and go against the wall. Like, it's literally split.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
You got
pretty.
issues. Issues, man.
The Halo 2 days were serious, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it. All right, so what are your gamer rage stories? Post them in the comments or post them as video responses to SideScrollers this week. We'd love to hear them. So,
It was a good topic.
yeah, very good. Good job. We look forward to spinning the topic wheel next week. We will be resetting all the topic wheel topics for next week, so make sure you keep an eye on all the fun stuff we have going on, and as well as our Facebook page where you'll be able to suggest the topics for next week's topic wheel.
You can
Horrible sound.
suggest ideas on Facebook. There's also a brand new forum up in the ScrewAttack.com forums where you can also suggest what you want us to talk about on the middle segment. Post
There you
your
go.
ideas. We'll look at them.
Cool.
Yes, that's what we do. All right, so there you go. That is the middle segment for this week. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Good, because it's time for the SideScroller News Desk.
Hit the music.
All right, let's make our way to. Oh, you know what? We'll say that one for last.
Okay.
Let's
Ooh.
go to California.
Oh.
California.
California.
Now, if there was one thing that it was taken out of, cartoons that was that could cause injury in a cartoon from
Something
from
Acme?
perhaps slipping.
It's a
Banana
banana
peel.
peel.
It's a banana peel, right?
Right,
Banana
always.
peels, yes.
Tell me it happened.
Well, a lady, the banana peel torment has come to real life as Ida Valentine, 58 years old, is suing the 99-cent only store where she slipped on a banana peel in April of last year. She said she suffered a herniated disc and tissue damage, spent $9,000 on medical bills, and is seeking an unspecified amount of damages. Actually, specifically, she wanted a proposed settlement of $44,000 from the store chain
God.
for slipping on the banana peel.
Sorry, 99 cents only.
Yeah, I know. You gotta,
That was my
you gotta sell like
first thought.
44,000 things.
That's my first thought. She's trying to sue the dollar store. Really, how much money could she possibly get?
Dollar stores do pretty well. I'm just saying,
Then we need to open a dollar store, but not have any bananas.
Yes, avoid those.
When you said slip on, I picture like Mario Kart. Like someone goes by, shoots the banana, and then she
I don't know
slips.
why she doesn't brake for a little bit so you get that little musical note so you can keep on driving.
Why was
You know
there-
what I'm talking about.
Why is there a banana peel on the floor?
I don't know, but like, I can imagine a banana like as a whole, but not some guy who's just like, oh, and just toss
Yeah.
it to the side, and then
Some
this
inconsiderate bastard.
58-year-old Ida Valentine comes walking along and conveniently doesn't see it.
Yeah.
How do you miss a banana peel on the ground?
The next
don't
time I
know.
see a banana
Hey.
on the ground, I'm gonna sprint right at it. And just like, I'm getting money!
Then again, maybe she's taking the right action. Maybe it was the guy who ran the dollar store. I mean, it's got to be boring. maybe he's like, I'm gonna put this banana peel down and see if this actually works, and then old lady falls.
Once again, another example of the pussification of America happening right here. You got, I remember the first one was the suing for the hot coffee back in McDonald's, and now we got people slipping on banana peels.
People
and
just
suing
sue for anything.
44K. All right, now let's go to Salem, Oregon.
All right.
Where this is a very short and brief story, but it's very, very much to the point. Where a car thief was trying, he stole a car, left the car by itself, and then was running around looking for a ride, trying to flag down a motorist to get away. Well, the only problem was the guy who pulled over was an undercover cop.
Sure, I'll give you a ride. Hop in.
Yeah, actually,
world's easiest arrest.
The officer had actually been looking for the suspect and recognized the 31-year-old and pulled up, and the guy was like, "Hey, I need a ride." And the cop looked at him. He's like,
You got it.
"Get in, yeah, come on, buddy." So
Shove in the back.
he did get his ride straight to jail. So very nice.
That's awesome. But who steals a car and then goes and tries to find someone to give him a ride? Then tries to hitchhike?
Yeah.
You just stole a car.
In theory,
Steal
it's a
a
good
bike.
idea.
I guess.
I don't know. All right,
It's pretty funny though.
final topic. Let's go to the United States, where
All the way there.
yeah,
We haven't left the United States yet, so okay.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so well, actually, I'll tell you, this story actually originated in Haiti. So let's go to Haiti now.
We'll go to Haiti.
All right. So Haiti, everybody knows about the big earthquake that happened last year
Yep.
and their earthquake relief and such. Well, they've also had the political voting going on over there for a new president.
Right.
Well, the president over there, or some of the candidates were actually sending out different, in the United States, they'll run commercials. They'll put up pinups on the board, vote for whoever,
Right.
Well, this guy wanted to go about it a different way, and he sent out what are they called? The telemarketers, right?
Yeah.
So
The phone calls.
yes. So his idea was to call everyone who was a Haiti resident but now lives in the United States, right? So he hired this Haiti, this telemarketer company to call everybody who was in Haiti but now live in the States.
Okay.
The idea behind it was
They could still vote.
was to tell the people in Haiti to go vote for this guy, right?
Okay.
So he calls, and let me actually see if you guys can hear this real quick. This is actually the phone call. Tell me it.
First archived message.
Pabliye fait appel la Kounia la relé Haïti, dit yo vote Mateli, numéro 8, Torbef la, tête calée.
End of
Okay,
message.
so that's it, right? So you get that
Okay.
message, right? Now, if you're from Haiti, that's one thing, but he sent those out to everybody everybody who had called Haiti, right? So you remember
Wait, everyone who called?
everybody who had called Haiti in the last year. But you got to remember, the earthquake happened, so journalists are going over there, the United States government's going over there, and they're calling over there. So that got sent out to everybody who had at least called
And it kind
them.
of sounds angry, but
Exactly.
you don't know.
That's exactly right. So people were getting this message,
Oh,
and they had no
no.
idea what it was about. So actually, he called. This message was sent to several military bases, and they actually were shut down for a few hours
God.
because they thought it was a terrorist threat. But in all actuality, the guy is saying, "Don't forget, vote Martelly, number 8, the bald head, the bull," because he is actually a bald guy.
Yeah.
and he's called the bull.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I just thought that was kind of funny that this guy and like.
The ignorance of America.
Well, nobody.
Terrorists! That's not English!
Well, it's
Like,
already
anyone-
bad enough. People are already
God.
paranoid out the wazoo, and they get these random phone calls. That's not helping.
You know, it's
It's just
been.
funny.
We're going on the 10-year anniversary of September 11th this year. September 11th, 2001.
That's crazy.
And it is crazy. And to think that we are still so freaked out over just like the littlest things is
Yeah.
amazing to me, you know? And that's a guy running for public office in Haiti, and people are like, terrorism. Yes.
It's happening!
Anyways, it's not so much a funny story, more so just like a wow story.
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
So, anyways, okay, so there you go. That is the news desk for this week. Hopefully the recreations were good. We do them after this, obviously. All right. So there you go. That's the news desk. Oh, 4 questions. Chad.
Let's do it.
Nice segment. nice transition.
That's always my transition. Followed by me trying to get it with my broken touchpad.
You should probably.
You did have it open, but I was answering emails.
All right, good.
All right. First up, G1 Combat Blues asks if there was a if there was to be a fourth Smash Bros. Game, which new character from any studio would you like to see the most?
From any studio, any game.
He said studio. I assume he means any developer.
I would like
since,
to see.
You know, Snake got in and stuff.
I would like to see the. It's funny that the nerd, his 100th episode was on Gyromite and Rob, because I loved Gyromite growing up. But I would love to see.
That sucks.
Dude, I love Gyromite. I loved it.
We need a Rob. I'm really surprised we don't have one.
Yeah, I am too. I had one growing up, but I don't know where it went. But I would love to have the little bad guy, not the actual scientist guy, but the little guys who eat the radishes as a player.
It's the most
or at least
obscure addition to Smash Bros.
Or at
possible.
least an
He had a
assist.
grand total of 1 attack.
You can eat a radish. I don't know.
In
I think
Smash
it's cool.
Bros.
I've always thought that guy was really cool looking. I always liked him. So
I've always been a big proponent of it, and I know I've said it before, but Simon Belmont,
Oh, yeah.
it has like the perfect amount of move sets. Like he's got all his different whip attacks, his jumps, you know, his up and B could be like the whip to like get onto a ledge or whatever. All of his different B special moves be throwing the dagger, throwing the holy water, throwing the axe,
Cross.
throwing the boomerang. Like they're there. All of his moves are there.
and if nothing else, you can just go like this.
Yeah, just do the little wave around thing. Sheik had it with her little chain whip, but let Simon Belmont have that. It'd be awesome.
That's true.
That's
As
actually-
long as it's like the original like Super Nintendo Castlevania 4 Simon Belmont, not this new weird anime-looking douche
Emo,
hole they
yeah.
had in like Castlevania Judgment in the PS1 remake. I don't like it at all.
See, in going with the Smash theme, the coolest thing about Smash is that you get to see all your Nintendo characters beat the hell out of each other, you know? And so, like, I would like to see that dynamic go to, like, say, like, Mickey Mouse or, like, Bugs Bunny or something like that, you know, just to go with the Smash dynamic of people that should not normally be beating the hell out of other people are there now. Like, I think that would be really cool to see. So.
Yeah, I think that's a really good one. They should totally make that happen. Obviously, well, see, no, Konami, they had Snake in it last time, so why not?
yeah, Konami owns the Metal Gear franchise.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe they only own one franchise per company or whatever. That's why they couldn't have Simon as well.
I'm down with it. Okay, what else?
All right, next up it's a video question from Mysterioskull.
Hey ScrewAttack, this is G1 Mysteriosco. Out of all the video game commercials out there, which one has encouraged you the most to getting into buying its video game, its console, or its peripheral?
That's actually a perfect question. Once again, we like this short, straight to the point. For me, commercials nowadays don't have as much say as they do in my buying habits as they did when I was a kid, and I think that's exactly what commercials are used
Well,
for.
we're easier influenced as kids.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course, we're not as cynical.
I have to have it! You know?
But so video game commercials back in the day with the guys with the radical hair and radical firepower and radical this and radical that.
Nintendo started revolution.
Yeah, that had way more influence on me. And you know, the Genesis does, but Nintendo don't. You know, the blast processing, those totally did a lot for me. You know, I had a Genesis growing up. Or no, I did not. I played a lot of Genesis at a buddy's house, but I never actually owned one until later. But I was always heavily influenced by the Genesis does, but Nintendo don't commercials.
Dude,
so.
for me, the one that stands out the most has got to be, we were just talking about Smash actually, but Smash Brothers
Oh, I know what
for
you're talking
Nintendo
about.
64, because that commercial was the greatest thing I had ever seen as a kid. Like, because it starts out and like, you know, all the Nintendo characters are skipping through this happy field. You know, I remember it was like, oh, that's weird. Why are all those Nintendo characters together? And then they start beating the hell out of each other. And as a kid, I was just like,
Amazing.
oh my god, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then like it shows the gameplay, you know, and everything, and it's just like Smash Brothers, you know, and I'm just like, I have to have that game. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like,
That was a good one.
yeah.
One that actually made me go out and buy the game was the first commercial for Super Metroid, which had this like this scientist guy and this like dog, like a big mean pit bull or something. He's like, how hardcore is Super Metroid? Well, watch this experiment. He like shoves the dog in and then starts showing all the gameplay clips from Super Metroid, and it showed like the Kraid boss fight, the lava dude where you gotta like push him back into the lava, and it looked so awesome to me. And then the dog comes back and now he's just a little chihuahua.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this game is hardcore. I have to have it.
That one. Speaking of that, the Super Nintendo ads for me specifically, the Super Mario World one, where it was like a bit more color, a bit more dinner, a bit more,
yeah.
this.
Oh
Do you remember
yeah,
that
yeah.
one?
More.
Yeah, it got, and I was like, that totally sums up exactly
It
what
has
is
so
so great.
much more.
I was like, no, I have to have that up. So my little hat flew off my head then. It was great. So,
Mini Craig hat.
that's right. All right, what else? What else we got?
Moving back to a forum question from G1 Round Gamer. Arcade games on Xbox Live and PSN have had success in their own right and are usually closer to games on the SNES or Genesis. Do you think arcade games are going to stay popular in years to come and stay in the style they're in now, or evolve into big budget games you can get on a disc?
Well, it kind of defeats the point of having an arcade game if they evolve into a game that's on a disc, right?
Right. I think the market's doing so well, it's just going to continue. And while the style of games may change a little bit, over time, I don't see the downloadable mini indie games and stuff like that ever dying, because it's been doing real well.
I think that's one of the big appeals of the Xbox Live PSN titles, because they are those smaller bite-sized games. Kind of like how you have all those apps like Angry Birds and stuff on Androids and iPhones. Those are immensely huge because they're simple and easier to play. Now they have dabbled a little bit in the more kind of big budget downloadable games like Hydrophobia, and it didn't work out for them at all. I guess the game wasn't
Shadow
very good,
Complex was was that a big budget?
I don't know if I'd say it's more Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
But they also had there's a first-person shooter that came out that was like a really competent first-person shooter. I can't remember the actual name of it.
The one where you're all you're robots. I know what you're talking about. I think
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I want to say it's called Raven Squad, but that doesn't sound right. I'll have to double-check my facts. But that one came out, and that did really well as a first-person shooter, but it could be easily passed off as a game that you would see on the shelf in stores.
I know what you're talking about.
For me, I feel like, just the downloadable aspect of it, they're cheaper, and it feels
Yeah.
like the games you played as a kid. That's what I like, because a lot of games are so serious now, and everything has crazy gameplay mechanics, a bunch of storyline, and that can be really good and stuff. But I do miss just the random. Who gives a shit? You're a plumber and you jump on Goombas and turtles and shit. Why not? It doesn't have to make sense. I like just the random fun games.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of gamers nowadays put a lot of emphasis on story and such, but video games never really had a story until the last. They've had a story, but then it's never been told out for you. You've had to use your imagination, and I think that's one of the things I love about downloadable games is that they're very simple, and you usually only have to have one or two buttons to.
what do I do?
play
What do I
them.
need to do? All right, let's do this.
Mark the Intern. He has a great series called Indie Game Searchlight, and he does a great job talking about games. And a game he turned me on to was a game simply called Jump, it's a very basic platformer. It has a really cool look to it. It's on Xbox Live. It's like $1, and it's a one-button game like Sonic, where you run around and you just jump and you collect coins. It's ridiculously fun and really easy. So it's a good time kill. I think of Xbox Live Arcade as like its own console now, or its own different platform.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite right now. So I love it. Love Xbox Live and PSN. Doesn't matter.
Cool. And all right, that's it for forum questions. But we got a bunch of birthdays. First up, Merc with a Mouth 13. Then we've got Vincent Porcelli, Gregory Bogard, George Simano, Lester Ramos, Sean McCown, G1 Levis, C-Match07, Akuma Doken, I like that name, Hummer Sheen, Evan S. Fan, Destructor V2, who is a badass artist, Heartless Seth, Burger Time, not the game, the user. All right, Nighthawk 99, Last Shaman, John Garrick, and Ikikaza. So,
tell you what,
happy birthday to everybody.
Yeah, the birthdays seem to be getting longer and longer every week as more people are posting things in comments and things like that.
That's good.
That is good. So as always, make sure you guys share that SideScrollers out and get your friends up. The viewership's been great on YouTube. We've been really happy with it. So keep on sharing it. As always, post it in your favorites and make sure you like it as well. If you did like it, if you don't, then don't.
Then it's Jared's fault.
That's right. No way to ruin the show, Jared.
Jeez, Jared.
Why aren't you destined? You're not destined. All right.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Hey. Ooh.
This guy doesn't like Destin.
Hey,
what
fuck that guy. No, all right. So that is SideScrollers for this week. As always, once again, I'm going to be hosting Hard News for a while. Once again, I am just a filler until I get my nose broken, and then there's going to be another filler for the filler.
Yes.
Relay to people, I'm going to talk about it on Hard News this week, but relay to folks that I am not the permanent host of Hard News, and relay to folks that Destin did not get a job at IGN, or whatever, you know. So
Oh, Craig, this is the internet.
yeah, I know. Look, we laid it out for you guys. If anybody is saying anything about whatever, just send them to SideScrollers last week and they'll explain it, hopefully. Whatever. All right, there you go. That is SideScrollers for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's the most entertaining 45 minutes of your video game week, which I left out at the beginning.
You did, but now you made up for it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. That is SideScrollers. Hey, until next week, hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
I'm Chad.
And I'm Professional Jared.
For SideScrollers on ScrewAttack.com.
I got it.
Thanks.